now. Welcome back to the Deadology Podcast. From Pencil Hill Studio, New Paltz, New York. I'm your host, Howard Weiner. This is Season 4, Episode 3 of the podcast. Today is February 17th, 2026. And 47, doing some math in my head, 47 years ago, today was the last show with Donna Jean Godchow and Keith Godchow in Oakland Coliseum Auditorium. And it was a great run with the Grateful Dead for those two. Keith first joined the band October 1971, and Donna early in 72 joined the band. And this is the peak years for the Grateful Dead as far as I'm concerned. The Godchow dynasty, 71 to 79. That first tour was spectacular. Then obviously you got Europe 72 and all the ensuing great tours from 73, 74 with the Wall of Sound. And the way the band evolved, the Grateful Dead evolved through the years, I wouldn't change a thing, man. It was perfect. You know, they came back 76, 77 with a more song-based set list, but it was phenomenal. 1977, arguably their best year for a long time. I thought that was their best year, but who's to say? You know, you could enjoy a 77 show more than a 72 show. It's a beautiful thing that it's all there, and these are definitely the years where the band grew the most. And Keith Godchow's playing, especially early on in those first 3-4 years, was phenomenal. Such a key component of the Grateful Dead taking off. And it kind of came crashing down here in the end of 79, late 78. I think 77 was a brilliant year where the band seemed to be all together and pushing in the same direction. A lot of, first year of Scarlet Fire, Estimated Eyes, and every night they really seemed to be pushing the art, trying to put together as creative set lists as they could. They really seem to take it seriously. 78's is like a surprise year for me. It's actually, I've had such an improved opinion of 1978 lately. I hear the tapes and I'm like, my God, how great are they? The big difference between 78 and 77, I think in 78, they stopped trying, to be impressive. They just were. They could just take the stage, go out and play 9 songs, do a short second set and just be spectacular. But something was starting to be missing. And I guess after a while, everybody needs a change, especially a rock band after a certain period of time. Usually need to make some kind of lineup adjustments, and putting Brett Midland in there turned out to be a fortuitous choice for the Grateful Dead. But to the Godchow's credit, man, this was the sweetest years. Most of the best shows, many of them come from this period. So what we have here with this February 17th, this last show, the strangest kind of mix between it being a celebration of all the great music the band, that they had played together, mixed with suddenly it would turn into like a sad feeling because it was breaking up. Essentially, I think we could call it they were getting fired, but it was done in the most polite, courteous way. And it's very unusual to have two members of a band knowing this is their last concert and it's all coming to an end this night and carrying forth with the show under those circumstances. It never happened with the Grateful Dead before like that. So a very unusual vibe and feel, but mostly celebratory and reflective. So this show really kind of goes in all kinds of directions. Really much unlike anything the Grateful Dead ever played. You could say that about a lot of their shows, but this one is really quite distinctive. And let's jump right in. A lot of surprises, and right away they set the tone for the night by opening up with Greatest Story Ever Told. Last time they played Greatest Story Ever Told was in the Winterland, October 18th, 1974, so they made a statement right from the top. We're going to do all kinds of nutty things today. We're going to have fun. This is a celebration. And this is a phenomenal Greatest Story. Obviously, the best years for that song was, 72 through 74. They played a lot of excellent versions. They took a long break from it. They come back with this one. Jerry's playing the wolf guitar, and it just has like a different sound. He's totally shredding on this. And after this, Greatest Story became a little cookie cutter, in the years that followed. So this is the last truly great version of Greatest Story Ever Told, and they kick off the show with it. And from what I've read, the house lights were on while they played this, which kind of made it a little extra special. So, hey, let's check it out. Early highlight, first song, Greatest Story Ever Told. Yes, a thrilling way to kick off Donna and Keith's last night with the Grateful Dead. Greatest Story Ever Told, a shredder's delight. And you could hear the crowd was loving it in Oakland, pumped up for a great show. And the celebratory mood continues with song 2, Don't Ease Me In. Now, if this were just another show and you looked at the set list and you saw Greatest Story Ever Told, Don't Ease Me In, you could never imagine it was this hot, because this Don't Ease Me In is crazy. The first instrumental, Garcia does like probably 3 times as long a solo as he normally would do in Don't Ease Me In, and just, phenomenal playing. The band is so pumped early on here. It's there's almost nowhere to go after this. It's just like, they come out completely on fire for this show. Awesome Don't Ease Me In the second spot. And then the show kind of plateaus a little bit as it goes more towards a typical night out. Almost hits a point where for a couple of songs it gets into like a mediocre groove. Nothing spectacular, but good songs follow. Mama Tried, Mexicali Blues, Friend of the Devil. At this point they've slowed. Obviously Friend of the Devil is the slow version, as it was. I think it started in '76. And this is a good version, some nice ripping from Garcia, but it's just a little laid back. 78, 79 is a golden ever Friend of the Devil. A lot of great versions in 78 where it really started to take off. 79, like Oakland, 1226, 79, killer Friend of the Devil. So these really were great times for Friend of the Devil. Not necessarily for this version, although it's pretty good. And then they come in with Passenger in the 6th spot. And man, I love a hot Passenger. And obviously Donna loves the song. It was almost as much her song as the lead singer as it was Bobby's lead vocals. And she really sang this with a passion on this night. Weird thing when it comes to Garcia solo, he's cooking along pretty good, but he cut it noticeably short. Usually we could blame that on Bob Weir. Bob will cut in with his lyrics when Jerry's looks like he's ready to go for another round. This time, Jerry just stopped, and I think it almost caught Weir by surprise. Like, okay, he went back to the vocals. So All Passengers are good, but this one not noteworthy, as far as a great version. Next song, High Time. Now, this is another kind of cool breakout. They hadn't played this in over a year and a half. The last time they'd played it was May 26th, 77 in Baltimore. And this version is pretty cool, but this is where kind of like the sadness of the show sets in. For some reason, it just sounds like I think everybody on stage is the musicians are realizing this is it, man. Where this is the end of the road, and a little sadness creeps into this part of the set. But it's a pretty good version. Everybody must have been psyched to hear High Time. It hadn't been played in a while. And then we're into song 8, and it Looks Like Rain. Now, as you probably know from if you listen to other podcasts, I'm not a huge Looks Like Rain guy, even though that every once in a while some versions pop up and surprise me. And when the song's really done well, I enjoy it. Probably just it's a factor of just hearing it so much. It shows, and it's one of the more tunes that one of the more played Bob tunes through the years. But this one is awesome, man. It's really it hit the occasion. This is where kind of like you could hear the sadness, and they were able to get the bluesiness and pour it into the song. Donna is almost in tears. You could hear it in her voice as she's singing here, and Jerry's got the noodling with the rain like tears at the end. Really an unusual version. Sounds different almost from any other. I'd highly recommend checking this out when you get a chance to listen to the show. One of my favorite versions of Looks Like Rain. I was surprised when I listened to this a bunch of times in preparation for this podcast. I was like, every time it kind of stood out as just a great version. And it is interesting to hear the way Donna's singing it. It's almost like she's addressing the audience. It's all right. I love you. That it's never going to change. It's such a weird dynamic for her to be facing the audience singing this song, knowing it's her last night. And you can just hear the sadness and the melancholy vibe of the tune as it's going on, which for musical purposes was very good because it was an excellent version of Looks Like Rain. Then we go back to Jerry Time, Jackarow. Really cool version. So after like a kind of a little plateauing, the show is picking up here as the set rolls along. Hot Jackarow, Jackarow would kind of make it back into the rotation. It would be there on Reflections and the acoustic shows of 1980, and then it made a return to the electric cassettes. Never an overplayed number, so it was always great to catch Jackarow. And that set up the set ender, Lazy Lightning Supplication, which they did a lot back in these days. The song definitely had some power. It was a set closer, worthy of set closing. Being the dynamic set closer, which is weird how they eventually got away from playing it as the 80s rolled along. The last version was Halloween 84, but they definitely cut back on playing it. Very tough chord progression, weird timing on it. Bob would forget the lyrics a lot. It was not an easy song to pull off successfully, but boy did they pull it off on this night, man. Just Jerry's, the way his noodling, his motif of guitar playing on this night was spectacular, and it did justice to this Lazy Lightning Supplication. So let's check out a little bit of that. Lazy Lightning Supplication to end the set. So a Shredder's Delight to open the set, and a psychedelic Shredder's Delight to close it out. Lazy Lightning Supplication, widely recognized as one of the best versions ever performed by the Grateful Dead. I think my favorite version is Glens Falls, April 14th, 1982. But this one's right up there. Just tremendous. The quick picking Jerry of 79, man. 1,000 note per minute stampede, man. The way he played in 79 at times, just mind boggling. There may have been some years where he got some more creative ideas, different directions, but just for pure speed, 79, he was locked into a groove in some of these songs. Just unreal, great playing there. Awesome way to close out the set. And set two, more fireworks than set one. And set two, they start off with the same celebratory kind of feel as they did in the first set. Opens up with Might As Well, which was kind of fresh, kind of a surprise. They played it at the last show. I think the last show was in Indianapolis, but they hadn't played it for about a year and a half. So Might As Well is back in the rotation. Very cool version. Really hit the spot on this night. Just an upbeat Might As Well, even though Keith and Donna weren't part of the original train ride to Canada, the Festival Express. But yeah, definitely it's a song that was invented, played for the first time during their years. So once again, fitting into the kind of like that retrospective mode, some of the best stuff that was came about during the Keith and Donna years. Very upbeat, Might As Well to open, followed by they take a little break. It's not a right into situation. They do I Need a Miracle. It sounded like they were going to do Samson, but they pulled back from that, broke into I Need a Miracle. And at this point, I Need a Miracle is only, I think the first version was August 78, like Shakedown. So it's a brand new song. And this version, there's the extra jamming at the end, not quite as hot as some of the better ones from this period. If you want to hear the best, undoubtedly the best I Need a Miracle ever, Springfield, January 15th, 79, I Need a Miracle into Shakedown. That miracle jam into this incredible beginning for Shakedown. Off the charts, January 15th, Springfield. So this is about a month later, still a very good Miracle. Over the years, I always loved hearing I Need a Miracle, but the jams were a lot shorter, much more concise. Really was an outlier kind of thing if you heard a hot Miracle after 1979. But this one's good, leads right into Bertha. And man, this Bertha is a standout. I probably should have cut it up for the audio highlight here. But as good a Bertha as you're going to hear, and definitely, Bertha has that contained jam, but some nights they really push it as far as they can. On this one, you could hear Garcia hitting notes that you never heard before. A tremendous Bertha, definitely noteworthy, one of my favorites, and it caught me off guard when I was listening to this. I couldn't believe how good it was. And then it goes into Good Lovin'. I mean, these songs have been paired together a lot, but once again, right now they have that celebratory feel. These are the right songs. This is a celebration, Keith and Donna's last show. And once again, Jerry does a standout jam in the Good Lovin'. So you got some songs here which may not seem, you look at it on paper, it's almost hard to imagine how hot they are. Man, they come out smoking in this second set. And then we get, of course, this is Donna's last night. We get a Donna song from The Heart of Me. Pretty good rendition. My favorite of the original Donna tunes is Sunrise. May not have the greatest lyrics, but I love the melody and the way she sang that one. But pretty cool from The Heart of Me. Definitely had to get a Donna song in on her last night. Next song, another breakout. So they got a really long pre-drums here. Big Railroad Blues. Love this tune. Very good version. This is the first Big Railroad since October 18th, 1974 in the Winterland. So once again, they're breaking out the stops for this show. Double check that. I think it was October 19th. October 19th, 74, Winterland. But yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff they hadn't done in years. So they definitely have the celebratory flow for this show going. Next song, we're already up to, let's see, 2, 4, 5. This is the 7th song, pre-drums, Terrapin Station. and I love 1979 Terrapins. This might be the best year for Terrapin Station. I think Jerry found the exact right tempo for it. He slowed it up just a little bit from what he was doing in 77 and 78 and expanded the jams and made it just a little spacier. And I think this really hit the heart of Terrapin, the way they played it this year, more than any other year. Another great version, Philly Spectrum, November 6, 1979. Also, that one's awesome, but this one is tremendous. So we're going to play a nice little chunk of that Terrapin for you right now. Just a nice, relaxed, like we finally caught the masterpiece essence of this song. I think they really nailed it in 79. So yeah, check out this, the 7th song of the 2nd set. Enjoy.
His job is to shed light, not to plaster. just seem
That, my friends, is one of the greatest Terrapin stations ever, if not the best. As I'm listening to it, right here now, man, I'm just like blown away how good that is. The extra long instrumental between verses, Jerry singing, it's got the right pacing, moody, hypnotic, a dynamic ending. Definitely one of the best Terrapin stations. I've never compiled a list of the best Terrapin stations, but when I do, this definitely has to be in the equation. Phenomenal playing, just awesome. One of the true highlights of this show. Everything you love about the Grateful Dead and Terrapin Station, it's right there for you. So that's 7 songs into the second set, and the band just keeps playing on. After Terrapin, they go right into Playing in the Band. 8th song before drums. Pretty incredible, and this Playing in the Band, by the time it drums, it's over 16 minutes long. So, some nights when they come out with playing this late, they don't really dig into it. It might be 10 minutes and, right to drums. But this one, they're just in the mood, just lost in their playing, as if they don't want this to end, as if they want to keep Keith and Donna on board as long as they can. Maybe this was a mistake, but maybe not. Just, Keith's playing over the years had deteriorated, but this is just like a brilliant moment, just where the band's out there, and if they play like this every night in 78 and 79, the band would have broke up, I don't think. That's how good they're playing on this night. Awesome Playing in the Band, full space, and then it goes into drums, and then space, and time for another breakout. So you got the Big Railroad Blues, Might As Well, the Greatest Story, High Tide. So they're pulling out all these songs they haven't played recently, Keith and Donna songs from that era, but they hadn't played in a while. And now they play The Wheel. This is the first time they played The Wheel since Madison, Wisconsin, February 3rd, 1978. Great tune. People must have been psyched to hear The Wheel back in the rotation again. They do a great job with it, but it's really the jam out of Wheel, the outro, that's the star here, man, just killer. They're ripping through it, in the nice circular way they do. And then Jerry hits notes at the end of this, which I've never heard coming out of any Wheel. It's kind of like, I guess, good way to call it, butter hits frying pan notes. They're just sizzling stuff coming out of the Wheel. And then there's almost like a second pause. Someone's tapping a drum, so it counts as going into the next song, but it's almost like a slight pause. And from those great butter hit frying pan notes, they bust into Shakedown Street. And it's the funkiest, coolest beginning to any Shakedown. That, along with the one from Springfield, which I mentioned earlier, from January 15th. Just phenomenal the way they rip into the Shakedown. And hey, enough talking about it. Let's hear this incredible transition, the end of the Wheel into Shakedown. That's one of the most awesome Grateful Dead transitions you'll ever hear. And that's what made the Grateful Dead special, man. Different from other bands. They could just connect songs which really never been connected before. Wheel Shakedown, first time ever played like that. I don't think it was ever connected again. I'm almost positive. And just magic could happen as they go from one song to the other. This Wheel Shakedown I've enjoyed this tape over the years, but if I needed a quick fix of Oakland 217, I had to go right to the Wheel Shakedown here, man. Just an incredible intro, very hot through the middle jam, and then we hit the end of the Shakedown. At this point, they weren't as well developed as they would be in the future. After the last chorus is sung. In 1979, man, when Brent Midland joined the band, Shakedown is one song that just continued to improve. 79, a huge year for Shakedown. So they go into the ending jam on the Shakedown, and when I look at the file that I'm listening to, it credits Shakedown for 16 minutes and 55 seconds, which is false. Shakedown Street only goes about 10 minutes. Somewhere in that jam, pretty early on, they kind of step out of Shakedown altogether. As I mentioned earlier, it wasn't fully developed at this point. I mean, Shakedown, I think it was debuted August 31st in Red Rocks in 78, so it's only been around for a couple months. So from Shakedown, they start working their way back to Playin in the band. I saw a revised set list from Dead Bass, and they called it Shakedown Space Playing. But I think it's really, after about 10, 11 minutes into that Shakedown, it really more is playing in the band than anything else. They're going back to playing. So on the one source I was looking at, it credited this playing reprise as 3:37. This playing reprise is more like 10 minutes. It's phenomenal. One of the best playing reprises ever as they navigate the Shakedown playing, but mostly it's playing. And once again, Jerry gets into the butter hits frying pan mode, and it's just phenomenal. Both ends before and driving it on home. Let's check out some of this playing reprise. Shakedown into playing. Back into playing. That is an extraordinary playing in the band. If you take the first part, combine it with the second part, you're looking at a half hour of playing in the band, just like the old days, man. What a send off for Donna Jean, and Keith Godshow. Put in 8 years of phenomenal service for the Grateful Dead, and they will always be treasured, loved by Grateful Dead fans. Just an extraordinary period. And what a great send off. There's something about this show. It's almost sneaky in its greatness. That last segment, starting with Terrapin Station into Playin, drum space, wheel shakedown, Playin, unreal, man. One of the best segments you'll ever hear of Grateful Dead music. It's kind of show where they delivered the goods early, and somehow when the bar can't be topped, they topped it. So, yeah, great ending there. And to wrap it all up, a great celebration song to end set 2, Sugar Magnolia. Everyone in Oakland must have been, dancing up a storm, having a great time. Definitely a celebratory end to the God Show era with Sugar Magnolia. Maybe not the greatest version compared to the level of some of the performances on this. It's just a good Sugar Magnolia. To even break into the top 100 Sugar Magnolias of all time, it has to be really noteworthy, which this one probably isn't. But still, no one in Oakland Coliseum on that night was thinking anything about any of that crap, man. They were just enjoying the hell out of it. Sugar Mag to end the set. And then a very fitting encore, man. It's Saturday night. I don't know that it's Saturday night. I'm not looking at that fact right now, but I'm assuming it's Saturday night. They played a One More Saturday Night encore. And One More Saturday Night debuted with Keith Godshow's first show on October 19th, 1971. So it's a beautiful little circular fitting ending. That One More Saturday Night for Donna and Keith's last show. They gave us years and years of great memories. They were there for the best of the Grateful Dead. And this show, definitely a sneaky classic, man. The more I hear this, the more I love this show, especially that ending segment. It's really extraordinary. But hey, man, everybody, thanks for listening. We're going to wrap up this episode. And next week, I think I'm going to do 22681 Chicago, the first concert of 1981, which was another huge year in Grateful Dead history. And this one, these Uptown Chicago shows from 81, extraordinary how hot they were for the first show of the year. It's almost similar to the 77. Also, they opened up February 26, 77 in the Swing Auditorium with the unusually hot show to start the year. 1981, same thing, just unusually hot show to kick off the year. Usually it takes a little bit to settle in, man, but they came out guns blazing both these years. So that will be next year's podcast. Hopefully I get to it next week. So next week podcast, so we have it for the date of February 26th from the Uptown Theater. We got Doug Schmel coming back with a show in March. His pick, I'm giving him a choice of which show to do, so I'm sure it's going to be ridiculous, whatever he picks. And yeah, a lot of the fun never ends here, man. Especially on my end, I get to listen to this stuff, talk about it, and I'm glad you guys are tuning in, enjoying the Deadology podcast. My website, tangledupintunes.com. You can catch my a variety of my books there. If you want to email me any suggestions for the show, any comments, catfishgarcia82@yahoo.com. I'm your host, Howard Weiner. Thanks for listening. Catch you next week. Peace out.